What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top5Central. Popular cartoons have become a staple of internet culture, with shows like SpongeBob, South Park, The Simpsons, or Family Guy being some of the most viewed shows nowadays. However, in some parts of the world where it isn't available, other companies have created really cringy knockoffs, so today we're going to look at 5 of the worst cartoon ripoffs ever made. With that said, if you watch any shows we're about to feature, make sure to click the like button and comment what's your favorite. Whichever has the most comments wins. But with that said, let's get right into the video. Number 5. South Park. So South Park is a pretty controversial show, but if there's one thing most people can agree on, it's that it's not exactly kid-friendly. However, a company in Kuwait decided to recreate the show in every single way possible, calling it Block 13, except they toned it down so the younger kids could watch it, and changed every American reference to stuff that actually happens in their own culture. Think I'm exaggerating? Well, just listen to the main characters. There are 4 boys, Ahmoud, Azuz, Mahmoud, and Salud, and they match up to the South Park kids exactly. Ahmoud is overweight and even wears the same beanie as Cartman, Azaz has exactly the same hat as Kyle, and Salud is so obviously Kenny that it's kinda hilarious. Not just that, but he even dies constantly, just like Kenny in the very early South Park episodes. Even the animation style is the exact same, but either nobody realized or nobody cared, because the show actually did super well. I'm not joking, it ran from 2000 to 2003, but it was so successful that you could even buy merch, and it even got renewed for a longer 3rd season. So if you get bored next time South Park has a season break, maybe track down Block 13, except just know it's not exactly the same thing.
زين انا ما ادري شلون يحطون هاي خدامه ماكو اقامه تسوي ممرضه ولا لا اشتكي على هذه الوزاره مالتهم والله. تعال يا ولد انت شنو اسمك؟ اسمك يلا. ها شنو قلت يا ولد يا زين؟
Number 4. The Simpsons. The Simpsons is one of the biggest cartoons to ever exist, so it's not surprising that it's been redubbed and remarketed in almost every country in the world. However, Georgia decided that just dubbing over old episodes wasn't good enough, so they went ahead and created their own version of the show. Well, actually that's not fair, because the creator of the Samsonadzes has said over and over again that the show has nothing to do with The Simpsons, but you've gotta admit, the similarities are pretty weird. I mean, for a start, everyone is yellow, and the main family includes a chubby dad and a mom with a huge ridiculous hairdo. To be fair though, there are some differences, like the dad works at a bank instead of a nuclear power plant, and there's only 2 kids instead of 3. In fact, the kids might be the weirdest part, because for some reason they're both teenagers, but they spend most of their time with a talking parrot. I'm not even gonna recommend you check this one out because the animation is kinda basic, but there's apparently an episode where they fight spies sent by Vladimir Putin, and I'm not gonna lie, that sounds kinda awesome.
The Simpsons, which is now 20 years old, has a Georgian rival, and while the characters share many of the traits of their American counterparts, one difference is they've not yet dared to lampoon their own politicians. Instead, as Irina Galushka reports, they turn to Russia's leaders for their laughs.
It's an average family with average problems, and it's taking Georgia by storm. The cartoon series, launched just 2 months ago, has shot to the number 2 spot on the most popular shows on one of Georgia's main TV channels. The Samsonadzes have been described as Georgia's answer to The Simpsons.
Number 3. SpongeBob. What do you get if you take SpongeBob SquarePants but set the show on land and replace all the characters with talking fruit? Well, it turns out you get Coconut Fred, Adventures on Fruit Salad Island, and even though it doesn't sound super similar at first, the more you dive in, the more obvious things get. I mean, Coconut Fred is basically SpongeBob. Like, he's kinda childish and dumb, but he's literally always happy. Even his voice is the same as SpongeBob's, although there's a little bit of Mickey Mouse mixed in that makes him even more annoying. As for the other characters, Fred has a miserable neighbor that is sick of Fred always hassling him, and I don't need to tell you who he's based on. Like, they even made the joke way more obvious, because the Squidward character is called Wedgie, and he's a lemon. Get it? Because he's bitter? Anyways, if you're still not convinced, there's one detail that confirms the whole thing is nothing but a ripoff, and that's the voice actor. That's right, even the guy who voiced Coconut Fred admitted the whole thing felt like a copy, and he wished he'd never gotten involved. Ouch.
great ideas sloshing around in my head. Slash, 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 slash.
Sorry, Fred. I've important work to do for Mr.
Number 2, Adventure Time. Right now, Adventure Time is going into its last ever season, but don't worry, China's version of Adventure Time is just beginning. Apparently, what they call the Legend of Lucky Pie only exists as a short, but I actually really hope it makes it to become a series. I mean, true, it follows an adventurer and his animal sidekick as they fight monsters and save the day, and everything from the outfits to the acoustic intro song is basically the same, but it's actually kinda good. Sure, the animation is a bit less advanced, and we get a walking, talking horse instead of a dog, but for Adventure Time fans who just can't deal with the show ending, this could actually be a good replacement. Even better, it's just about different enough that it doesn't feel like a total ripoff, it's more like some sort of weird parallel world, but still not the same thing.
每天我们都在一起，为梦想为正义而努力，有困难我帮你，肩并肩不放弃。Lucky 哥和阿派 We are the family. Lucky 哥。
Okay, here's our honorable mention. Now, all of the shows on this list are some kind of copy, but this one is on a whole new level, because the creator of the show it's ripping off even tweeted about it, and not to say how good it was. Like, Gravity Falls is super popular, so it's not that surprising that someone in Russia would want to make a show in a similar style, but this takes just being inspired by the show way too far. I mean, everything from the art style to the theme song is similar, and the show is all about a boy who goes to live in the woods with an older relative, just like Gravity Falls. To be fair, for this kid, it's his grandma and not his uncle, and he's not there for the same reason, but he still ends up meeting like strange creatures and going on adventures. Even worse, the opening song has him looking into a book with information about all the strange monsters he's met, and yeah, you guessed it, that book is a huge part of Gravity Falls as well. Number 1, The Amazing World of Gumball. What do you do when your show is being completely ripped off? Well, you rip them off right back, of course. The Amazing World of Gumball is one of Cartoon Network's funniest and most popular shows, and clearly a showrunner in China noticed and wanted in on the success. They ended up with a show called Magic Star, which is super similar to Gumball in every single way. I mean, the main character might be a goat instead of a cat, but aside from that, the main family is totally the same, and the humor is the same too. Worst of all though, they've actually copied whole scenes and plot lines from Gumball, which is when Cartoon Network decided enough was enough. To teach them a lesson, they aired a new episode of Gumball called The Copycats, which included a cartoon about a family just like the one in Miracle Star. Basically, they called out the show for copying them in the most direct way possible, while also making an episode that everyone could still enjoy. Seriously, it doesn't get much better than that.
What you are doing is straight up criminal. So just try and be original. Be your own you. Be your own you. Don't do what I do. Just be your own you. It's much more fun to be yourself than copy everybody else.
Be your own you.
Be your own you.
Try something new.
Find your own things to do.
Copying is clearly theft. It's gone.
And there's our video on the top 5 worst cartoon ripoffs that have ever been made. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to see whenever we upload a video. Also, if you have your own top 5 or tops an idea, feel free to use our Show Me Handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.